First of all, my pranams to my master, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, and happy full moon to all of you, my dear friends. We all know that moon is very connected to our spiritual practices, and it is very important to know about this full moon energies and the science behind this full moon meditation. So, I'm Sri Lakshmi. Currently, I'm living in Bristol, United Kingdom, and I have been using this full moon energies from the past 5 years, my dear friends. Previously, also, I used to utilize this full moon meditations, but once when I come to know about the science of meditation, I was blown away. Since then, I won't miss my full moon and new moon meditations. And in India also, in so many traditions, we follow this full moon rituals and full moon meditations. In India, if we observe, we celebrate Kartika Purnami, that is coming in 2 days, and Rakhi Purnima or Guru Purnima. And in shamans and in many indigenous culture, this full moon is very much celebrated, my dear friends. And it is also one of the guiding principles of our pyramid spiritual societies movement. And we all know that during this full moon times, energies will be thrice more powerful. Whatever we do, all the energies will be getting amplified on this full moon days, my dear friends. Tremendous, we can access a tremendous amount of energy which is available during these days. And this full moon happens for 7 days, that is 3 days before the full moon and the full moon day, and 3 days after the full moon. So the time on and around this full moon is very important for all the spiritual practitioners. And as it brings, the full moon brings the healing energies, lot of healing energies, my dear friends. Whether if you want to improve your health, your relationships, or if you want to manifest your dream career or job, this full moon energies, they just boost your amplification process. And it is the best time of manifestations. And as this new moon is all about creation, my dear friends, it is all about new intention setting. New moon, or we call it as Amavasya in India. And the full moon is all about fruition. Whatever the seeds we planted on the new moon days, they will come to the fruition on this full moon days. And this full moon is very essential to remove any unwanted energies or blocks that are hindering our spiritual growth or our material growth. So when we take in any perspective, this full moon is very important, as we work very close with the mother nature and the mother universe and the mother earth, my dear friends. We'll get in connected, we become in sync with the natural environment or the nature forces. So this nature always provides us beautiful opportunities, my dear friends. Only we think we have to do is we have to best utilize all these opportunities. For example, I want to mention here, as we have 9 planets, or we call navagrahas. Every planet emits different frequencies. Every planet has a different effect on our physical body. Every planet plays a role in our life, my dear friends. So the moon and the sun, they are the wonderful planets, and the sun is a source of energy. And the moon and the sun, they also emanate different frequencies, and these energy waves, especially during this new moon and the full moon days, these energy waves, and the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon will be more on this planet earth. So only when you go and observe during the full moon days, when we go to near to the oceans, you can observe the tidal waves of the oceans will be arousing, because the full moon, the gravitational pull of the moon will be pulling out all these energies of this ocean. So as our body contains 70% of the water, it definitely impacts, my dear friends. When the moon can influence the ocean, that's such a huge oceans, as our body contains 70% of the water, the moon will bring out all this. Water is closely connected to the emotional center. So water is related to our emotional body. So when we want to compare anything, we compare our emotions with the water. So as the water keeps flowing, our emotions need to flow, my dear friends. Emotions are very important. Emotions are nothing but energy in motion. So this full moon, during this full moon days, you should be very careful of your about your emotions, what emotions you are vibrating or emitting into this universe, what vibrations, what frequencies. Because as I said, whatever you think will be amplified during this full moon days. And for example, if the person is having the anger, so that anger will be multiplied on these full moon days. For example, if the person is in the spiritual path, if he is meditating, then he will be doing more meditations on this full moon days, which is useful for his highest and greatest good, my dear friends. So I request everyone on this full moon days to please utilize maximum time, as the energies will be flowing more on these days. So please utilize this full moon and new moon meditations, my dear friends. And during this full moon days, what happens is our planet Earth will be between the sun and the moon. So our Earth planet will be between the sun and the moon. And during these days, the planet Earth will be receiving the both energies from these both planets. I will be sharing the slideshow so that you will understand in more clear. See, friends, when you observe here, so this planet Earth, this full moon will have more effect on the planet Earth during this is, as I mentioned. So see here, the gravitational pull of the moon will be more today on the planet Earth. So it will be experiencing lot of gravitational pull. The same happens in our physical body also. As I said, our physical body contains 70% of the water. The full moon can definitely impact on our physical body, my dear friends. And also the full moon has the frequencies, the moon frequencies has the capacity to enter the subtler frequencies in our mind. So for example, we have two types of mind, that is conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So what happens is, conscious mind is we operate with the conscious mind only with the 5%, and with subconscious mind, 95% of the life will be operated by the subconscious mind, my dear friends. So this moon frequencies has the capacity to enter deep into the subtler frequencies of the subconscious mind, and they bring all the suppressed emotion, the deep rooted emotions which we haven't addressed from such a long time. All these emotions will be brought to the surface. Why these emotions will be pulled out to the surface is because they that emotions need to be released from our physical body, my dear friends, or else that emotions will literally spoil our spiritual growth and literally hinder our material and spiritual growth. So utilizing this full moon and new moon meditations is very important. As I said, all the old emotions during this full moon days, the many people will have mood swings, as the lot of emotional cleansing is happening during these days. All the old emotions are getting to the surface for the emotional cleansing. So people experience a lot of mood swings, they undergo, like they feel a lot of frustration, anger, irritations. We have to, what we need to observe is, my dear friends, all this full moon is letting us know that all this anger, frustration, irritation, we need to let go all these low based emotions from our emotional body and from our system. So it's the best time to release and let go all the unwanted emotions from our physical body. And why do people go crazy during these full moons? As I said, the moon frequencies, as it can see how the tidal waves, they are arousing, because the full moon can impact this ocean waves, and the gravitational pull of the full moon will be more on this planet Earth. So people go crazy because the full moon will bring out all these negative emotions to the surface, my dear friends. And as I said, the people who are in spiritual path, the people who practice meditation regularly, so it is also possible to awaken the thoughts about spirituality, to go into the deeper states of meditation, to manifest all the wishes in their life by using this full moon times. The people who are in the spiritual path can benefit maximum during this full moon days. And as I said, this is a heightened activity of the mind. So this is all about what I explained now, conscious mind and the subconscious mind. All these negative impressions of the mind, and if you have any anger, if you have frustration, if you are carrying the jealous, all these impressions will be brought to the surface during this full moon meditations. And I'll be explaining about the seven bodies and seven chakras. It is very important to know about the seven bodies and seven chakras. Yeah, just let's have a glance of the slides and we'll go into the topic. So what are the things to release on this full moon days? So we have to release out the fear, grief, shame, like comparing yourself to others, worrying about the money or financial blocks or any financial situations. any types of fear, like fear of success, fear of failure, fear of unknown. So let go and release all these unwanted fears from your, or from your emotional body, from your etheric body, from your physical body, my dear friends, and from your subconscious mind. Fear of criticism, judgments, and the old belief systems that no longer serve you anymore. And resistance, lot of people carry so much of resistance. So we need to let go of the resistance from our physical body. And when I go further into the topic, I'll discuss about the angels and archangels connected with this full moons. And Archangel Haniel, she is the master who is very closely associated with this full moon. You can invoke the energies of Archangel Haniel and the crystals what we use in the meditations. And so group meditations, it is our core principle of PSSM, that we have to utilize this full moon meditations, especially the group meditations. As I said, the energies will be more during these days. Whatever we do, my dear friends, when you meditate more, that energies will be amplified during this full moon days. So group meditation, as we are meditating collectively in the group consciousness, it will be more beneficial, my dear friends. Group meditations are more beneficial. And the full moon is all about full moon itself has no light, my dear friend. So moon is illuminated by the rays of the sun. So sun is the symbolism of the soul, and the moon represents all about, moon is closely connected to our mind, our emotions, our intuitions. So yeah, this is the symbolic representation of the moon. And energy cleansing techniques I will be discussing. And yeah, these are all the things uh, we need to be known the science behind the full moon meditations. So during this full moon, as I mentioned, the moon will be just opposite to the sun, my dear friends, fully illuminated by the light of the sun. We all know that the moon has no light of its own. When the sunrise fall on the moon, the moon is illuminated. For example, sorry. So the moon has no light of its own. When the sun rays fully illuminate the surface of the moon, then it gets illuminated. The moon is roughly sitting between the earth and the sun. So hence the sun is shining on the darker side of the moon, my dear friends, the side of the moon that we never see. As a result, we cannot see the moon as the side that faces the earth is not illuminated on the new moon days. And during these full moon days, as the sunrise fall directly on the moon, we can experience the illumination of the full moon. And a lot of uncomfortable friction happens in our physical bodies. And as there is as moon and the sun, they are on opposite direction, facing like opposite to each other. So we experience a lot of uncomfortable friction happening in our bodies. At the same time, we also experience the greater amplification of vision and potential possibilities in our lives, like whatever, like potential possibilities means letting go of all the unwanted root fears. So when we let go all these unwanted root fears by just being aware of what is happening in our emotional body, what is happening in our physical body, what is happening in our energy body. So when we are more aware of what is happening in our all seven bodies and seven chakras, it gives us a great potential possibilities to in our spiritual growth. So both new moons and full moons, they play a very important role in the life of a spiritual practitioner. And as I said, I will be discussing about how to cleanse. So during this full moon days, the moon can reach the deeper parts of the soul, pulling out the things you have been hiding or trying to ignore. For example, you, without reason, if you are getting angry on your wife or your children, so it is the time to address that emotion, my dear friends. Why? You have to question yourself, what is that vibration I'm carrying in my body that is continuously attracting this experience in our life? Because the moon illuminates on that negative emotion stored in your chakras, stored in your subconscious mind, so clearing out all these blockages. So on this new moon days, just place your hand on your heart and say, no matter what is happening in my life during these days, I'm completely okay, I'll be completely okay. Give yourself permission, allow that cleansing to happen. Allow that emotional cleansing to happen, my dear friends. As everyone has both the light and the darker side, energy is always neutral, my dear friends. Energy is always neutral. It is neither created nor destroyed. So in which direction we focus, in which we have to focus energy in always the right direction. For example, anger is a beautiful emotion. We have to focus this emotion of anger in the right direction. For example, any spiritual master or guru focuses this, utilize this anger emotion for correcting the disciple or for correcting his student. So anger is a beautiful emotion. When it is utilized in the right direction, it will help for the that person's spiritual growth. And the same anger, if we use for our selfish reasons, for satisfying our ego. For example, so many people will get angry on other people just to satisfy their ego, or just to for selfish reasons. So we should not direct energy. We should be always aware in which direction we are directing that energies. So every person has both dark and light and the darker side, positive and the negative. So energy is neither created or not destroyed. So for example, during this full moon days, if you utilize the energy in the right direction, in the positive direction, like being in more silence and always being in a responsive state instead of reacting, like so many people will tend to react. If for example, if your wife has said something to you, we'll react without any reason because we have no emotional stability. So during this full moon days, be aware what and all what are the behaviors I'm doing on this full moon days. So just note down and just let it go, all these unwanted behaviors, unwanted mental thought patterns, which are not in alignment with with your highest and greatest good, my dear friends. And depending upon your present current state of the mind, for example, if you are struggling with a lot of stress, so this heightened activity of the mind, like if you are experiencing more stress in your life, you experience same situation that increase more stress in your life, my dear friends. So do more meditations and be more in silence. Silence is the best healing technique, my dear friends. Whatever the other person says to you, don't react. Reaction is different from responding. For example, if you're in the reactive state, for example, the wife and the husband came from the office to the home, and wife is in one different mood, and the husband, the boss, has scolded him and he is in different mood. The moment he arrives to the house, if a husband says anything to the wife, wife starts reacting, why are you saying that thing to me? From morning till morning I am taking care of the kids, I have my own struggles, I have my own challenges. So the clashes happen between, because they both are reacting. Their wife is not understanding the husband and husband is not understanding the wife. There is no space. So we need to give them a space. When we give them the space, then they, from that space, they start operating and they start to understand us. So always be in the responsive state, my dear friends. Don't overreact for any situations. As I said, the more you overreact, these dominant thoughts, these dominant frequencies of these low based emotions will be activated. And the if have you observed during this full moon days, all the artists or the creative persons, they will be performing more creative acts. For example, when you observe the writer, he will go just to the near to the oceans and he writes beautiful poetry during this full moon days. As I said, he will be more connected to this full moon energies, as moon is very closely connected to our intuitions, to our mind, to our emotions. So all these artists like singers, musicians, writers, they will be in more touch with this beautiful intuitive energies of the full moons and the beautiful talents. Or if you want to, if you want to write any song, so then he can, if he can utilize this full moon energies, then he can lot of he can bring out the lot of talent from him, my dear friends, as full moon increases the creativity. So for you also, the best tool is during this full moon days, just divert your energies from quarreling or from arguing or reasoning, explaining or reasoning, to writing, journaling, performing some arts or crafts, or just dance. When you dance, all your emotions. As you move your body, all the emotion that got stuck up in your emotional centers will come out, my dear friends. So dancing is a beautiful energy healing process. Just dance out, just go into the room and dance like anything. Osho always recommends like this dance to release out any negative emotions from your body. And also indulge in the activities like paintings. So when you paint, you're just focusing your energies on just that painting part. So just paint or do some arts and crafts. So this is all about shifting our energies. And now let's understand about this 7 days of the full moon process. As I said, the full moon happens for 7 days. That is full moon on full moon day, 3 days before the full moon, and 3 days after the full moon. So 3 days before the full moon, that is we have full moon now on November 30. This now we are experiencing like 3 days before the full moon. So what we have to do during these 3 days? So as during these 3 days, as I said, 3 days before the full moon, lot of emotional cleansing will be happening, as this moon frequencies has the capacity to enter into the subtler frequencies of our mind. They will be bringing all these negative thoughts or negative emotions that are piled up in our subconscious mind, that are just blocking our path. So these 3 days, please be aware of your emotions, my dear friends. So the people who are not in this spiritual path, that is people who live in the body mind state, the people who are mostly identified that I am only this body and this mind, they will undergo a lot of emotional roller coaster. And they become more angry, as I said, quarrels happening, emotional turbulence will be happening during this full moon days. From next full moon or during this full moon, just observe your life, how you are behaving on these full moon days. As I said, all these suppressed emotions will be coming out to the surface. So these 3 days, if you have, for example, if you have any, all these four bodies, for example, as I said, mental body is the fourth body, third body is called emotional body, and second body is called energy body, and first body is called physical body. So mental body is associated with mental body is nothing but the fourth body. Fourth body is associated with our heart chakra, that is fourth chakra. Thus the heart chakra should always be in that it should be always be in that it should be cleansed, my dear friends. When we have any unwanted thoughts, like for example, when you watch any news channels, you'll get some unwanted thought. This unwanted thought will create unwanted fears in your emotional body. Fear is negative emotion. Not fear is not negative emotion. If you use fear, there are two types of fears: natural fears and illusionary fears. Natural fear is very important. For example, when you're going on the road, when you see some snake, so it is very natural that we need to escape from the snake. So that fear is a very good emotion. This fear energy will help us to go away from that snake. Illusionary fears are the fears, like for example, you have called your mother-in-law, she hasn't lifted the call, and your mind start to visualize all the negative visualizations, like why my mother-in-law didn't lift the call. Has someone said anything to her? You go into that negative visualization process. All the illusions, imaginations, all these imaginary thoughts, illusionary fears, they increase the stress in your physical body, my dear friend. This stress again leads to a lot of health problems. So fear, illusionary fears come out of all these imaginary illusionary fears. For example, if you have that negative thought in your mental body, it causes some negative emotions in your emotional body. When we have negative emotions in our emotional body, then in our energy body we don't like energy will get stagnant in our energy body. Energy will not be in the smooth flow. So this energy body, when this energy body is affected, finally it leads to diseases in the physical body. This is all the root level, my dear friends. So during this full moon days, so be aware of your thoughts. So when we have rightful thoughts, we all have the happy and rightful feeling, happy feeling. When you have the thoughts like doing good to others, always thinking good to others, or always having compassion, or anything like having that beautiful, compassionate or loving thoughts, you always have that peaceful, that happy emotions, compassion emotions, and joyful emotions in your emotional body. So it, when there is so much of joy, love, compassion in your emotional body, in your etheric body you experience a lot of energies. So there will be no stagnation in the chakras or in your energy systems or in your nadi system. So then your physical wealth will be very like it will be very beautiful. You will be experiencing very lightness in your physical body, as you're having this full of energies in your energy body. Then your physical, it is the effect, my dear friends. So that when the root is strong, then the effect will be so strong. So when for example, if for the tree, if the roots are very strong, then it will have the beautiful fruits. When the roots are not strong, then you can experience a lot of darkness or something like damage on the leaves or on the root, on the surface of the tree. So always we should keep our roots strong. So our mental body and our heart chakra. Heart chakra is the bridge between our lower three chakras and the lower three bodies, and our higher three chakras and our upper bodies, my dear friends. So heart chakra is very important. All the spiritual gurus, when you observe, they'll be speaking about the heart. So when the heart chakra is very pure, and when it is not blocked by anger, grief, hatred, jealous, or any these negative emotions, so then we can experiencing that lightness in the heart and lightness in the physical body. Or else, as I said, we, when our heart chakra is blocked, we lose connection with ourselves. We will be always in the airy fairy. We are not at all grounded with the mother earth. So when there is no grounding is nothing but we always living we will be always living in the thinking and feeling loop, my dear friends. Grounding means when we are not grounded, we lose connection with our own self. So meditation and all this practicing all the spiritual tools will definitely keep us in the grounding is like being more rooted with ourselves, being more rooted, having a strong connection with ourselves, strong connection with the mother earth. So this physical body, this Mooladhara chakra should be balanced. So when the heart chakra is not in alignment, all the lower three chakras and the lower three bodies will not be in alignment. And finally we lose that connection with the mother earth and the connection with ourselves, and we tend to act, we will be very fake. So our reality, we will lose our real nature. We always tell lies to others. We always live in that what you call fake world, creating that fake reality, my dear friends. Fake means we always like we'll be operating with our ego consciousness. Ego is all about like getting identified with ourselves, carrying like always feeling proud about yourself. This all this pride, jealous, vanity, ego, they all just literally spoil our spiritual growth. So no ego, my dear friends. If you are having ego for any reason, that you are not living in this heart-centered consciousness, so always come out of the ego, be always rooted and grounded. And we learn mostly, we'll be more grounded, and all the lessons will be taught only when we are in a relationship, my dear friends. So as we have a beautiful quote like samsara me nirvanam. So in samsara we experience that nirvana, enlightenment stage, because we learn from each other. There is so much of scope in the family relationships. Okay. So in the family relationship we have to give freedom to each other. So no jealous or no pride that I am greater than you, no domination on other people. Give the freedom. Patrisar always says, when you give freedom to others, you experience more freedom in your life and have more patience. So these are all the qualities we need to we need to develop, so that this on this full moon and the new moon days are the great times. Mother nature, every month Mother nature gives us two chances during the full moon days and the new moon days to correct ourselves, to take charge of our life, and it is the best manifestation days, my dear friends. So utilize this group meditations and no interference in other lives. Always live in that heart centered consciousness, heart centered living. So, and as I said, once again, I'll explain, don't have any negative thoughts. These unwanted thoughts will deprive the, will cause emotional imbalance in your emotional body, and this emotional imbalance in your emotional body leads to energy stagnation in your energy body. When there is stagnation of energies in your seven chakras, these seven chakras are associated with the seven glands in our physical body, my dear friends. So this when there is no proper flow of energy in between these chakras, then there is no proper channeling of energies to these physical glands. We have seven glands in our physical body: adrenal glands, thymus, so pituitary gland, pineal gland. So when the glands are blocked, there is no proper hormonal secretion in the physical body. When there is no proper hormonal secretion in the physical body, it leads to a lot of physical diseases. Why? Because all the diseases in our physical body are because lack of energy in the physical body. Why there is lack of energy in the physical body is because we are having negative emotions in our emotional body. So these negative emotions or just draining out all these energies from our physical body. What are the negative emotions? Like having this jealous is a negative emotions. When one person is growing, when we are feeling jealous, then we are that energy is getting drained in our physical body, my dear friends. So please be aware of emotions during this full moon days. And as we have seven bodies and seven chakras, Mother Earth is also having seven bodies and seven chakras. So when you are in alignment with all your seven bodies on these full moon days, you will get aligned with the seven chakras and the seven layers of this Mother Earth. And whatever, and during this full moon days especially, there will be there will be a time like Paurnami Gadiyalu, we will say. There will be some special times on these full moon days where the Himalayan masters, they are ready to channel the energies during the full moon days, my dear friends. So to receive the higher energies or the channeling energies from the Himalayan masters or the ascended masters, our vessel, our physical body or the our vessel should be very clean. There should not be any stagnant energies. It should be very empty and clean during that full moon days, so that whatever the channeling messages are getting from that higher masters, we can receive very happily. And for example, if you are unable to manifest your wishes or goals from 1 year or 2 years, when you can utilize your full moon days for at least 2 to 3 months. Example, this full moon, next full moon, and next upcoming full moon, when you utilize all the 7 days of full moon energies, then you can manifest this thing within 3 months or 6 months, my dear friends. As I said, full moon days are the best time for manifestation process, and we'll get aligned with the energies of the Mother Earth also. And whatever the things like Saptarishis or the Himalayan masters or the Patrisor or any master, if you are in alignment with their higher energies, they will channel, they will work through us. We'll become instrument in their hands, my dear friends. So to higher masters will work through our body, higher masters will work through us for bringing the highest works or for doing the highest works on this planet Earth. So this is all about the full moon, the 7 days. And after the first 3 days cleansing will happen. During the full moon days we receive a lot of energies, and of the rest 3 days we assimilate the energies. Like we digest and assimilate all these energies like next coming 3 days. So during the full moon days, but first of all, if before going into the intention part, I would like to discuss about this emotional cleansing part. First, emotional cleansing is very important, my dear friends. Your mind should be very clear. Your mind should be decluttered from all these mental patterns or the negative emotions. So when your mind is free from all these unwanted emotions, then it is the time to create to create the new intentions in your life. And along with this mind, I also request to declutter your house also. If you like, if you are putting so many things in your closets, just remove all the unwanted clothes you are not using from the past 6 months or past 1 year, because it is all these the things which at all which you are not using, they need to be removed from your house, my dear friends. Just you are decluttering your space, decluttering your closets, and removing all the unwanted things that you are not using from past 1 year or 6 months, because energy synchronization is very important. Your house should be very clean and neat, so your energies will be syncing in with every object in your house. So after this, doing all this emotional cleansing and this house cleansing, then create a beautiful sacred space, my dear friends. You can use sambrani dhoop, like when in India we'll be using sambrani. In here in Western countries they use sage. Sage is a beautiful herb, like it cleanses and removes any impurities in your house, like sage cleansing. So after doing this sage cleansing and doing sambrani dhoop, create a beautiful sacred space. Okay, then right, first of all, after creating beautiful sacred space, take one pen and paper. Write out, first of all, do this emotion cleansing part. Write out all that emotions or negative emotions, or the thing that you need to, that the things you want to release from your life. Like if you are having this, yes, now I want to release all these emotions. I know that I'm having more anger, I need to improve my anger. So I'm releasing all the thought patterns, all the vibrations in my body that are triggering this unwanted emotions or unwanted thought patterns in me. You have to trust this process completely, my dear friends. Don't put your logic mind, remove your logic mind and become like a child, like completely trust your higher guides, your universe and your angels, archangels, your guardian angels. So completely trust them and do this process. And after doing, write it down what and all you feel like. For example, you're having any anger on your friend, write down what and all you want to express. Just write down without putting your logical mind. If you want to scold him, just write down everything. And then go to the sink or your any space which is safe. Just burn out that paper, my dear friends. When you burn out, feel like all this emotion has taken away from your life. It is released, it got released from your life. When you're burning that paper, feel that all these negativities, negative emotions, they're burning out and releasing out from your life. So this is the one process to do that emotional cleansing. Second process is like question yourself, why I'm angry on my husband? What is inside me that is hurting? What are the thoughts that I'm holding in my life? So when you question yourself, you'll get answers from the universe. And as I said, as we emit these negative thoughts into the universe, we attract the same things into our life. Like law of karma, what goes around comes around. As you sow, what you call, you reap what and all we sow into this planet earth, or we reap the same results and the same fruits, my dear friends. So what goes around comes around. So please be aware what emotions or what vibrations you are emitting out to this universe. Then after doing this, writing down all these emotions and burning out this, then again come back to your sacred space. Then tune into yourself. Just close your eyes, invoke all your angels, invoke your guardian angels, invoke your higher self, invoke like any enlightened masters energies. So connect with them and ask them, masters, what is that I need to improve in my life? So what is you can ask whatever you feel like, you can ask that master. And just tune into yourself, and after tuning into yourself, just think about your intentions, what you want to manifest in your life. For example, you want to manifest any dream job. then write that intentions like by end of May or by the end of December, I am manifesting my dream job. If you don't want to give any time, just you can say to yourself in this present moment, I successfully manifested my dream job now. I completely trust universe and my higher self or the guardian angels. I completely have faith and trust in them, and I completely trust myself. Yes, I successfully manifested my dream job, or else I successfully manifested the best relationship. Anything, whatever the intention might be, write down that intention. After writing that intention, just read it out 3 times louder, my dear friends. So like you have to say 3 times louder so that you will give that more energy to that intentions. So then close that paper and place that paper maybe in your sacred space or in the box. So surrender that intention to the universe. So don't think after writing your intentions, don't think about that, just but always have that faith. Yes, it is going to manifest. Yes, I successfully manifested my dream job. Keep repeating that affirmations daily, morning, afternoon and evening. So this, as the full moon have more energies, and all the energies will be amplified, you will manifest that intentions very very sooner in your life, my dear friends. But the only thing you have to do is completely trust this process. You have to get aligned with this moon energies, utilize the full moon meditation, keep some beautiful music. After writing your intention, just surrender your intention and sit in meditation. You are sending energies to that sankalpa or to that intention. So meditate more on this full moon days. This is all the process you have to do on every full moon. Utilize this process, like do this process every full moon. Definitely the things that you are unable to manifest from the past 1 year or from the past 6 months, you can able to manifest within 2 to 3 months. Because I manifested everything in my life by just completely utilizing new moon and full moon energies. So these new moon and full moon energies are very 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 important, my dear friends. So yeah, this is all about the new moon. And thank you so much, friends.